Ben Akerson took 4 seconds to become hilarious. You, Adam, achieved hilarity in the very first frame of your video. Thank you for the O-face. I think I'll use it as the thumbnail.
I have a confession to make. I've been recently diagnosed with a critical yet common condition among men known as mansplaining.
Who diagnosed you, Adam? Was it a woman? Or was it the doctor?
So, what is mansplaining?
Gee, why don't you explain it to us, Adam Levine Perez? Or has this love taken its toll on you?
Well, it's a condition that affects many men who believe that it is our natural born right to talk over, interrupt, and especially explain things to women.
It's not necessarily a natural born right, Adam, but I believe it's covered in your First Amendment there. Both men and women have the right to interrupt each other, to talk over each other, or to explain things. Neither should be jailed for it, neither should be fined for it, and neither should be suplexed out of the conversation with Orwellian identity criminal terminology like mansplaining.
On topics that affect women, are predominantly about women, and that they're probably experts on in the first place.
So, it's a little bit like when a man says, "She will be loved." All those fairy tales are full of shit. One more fucking love song, I'll be sick.
And that's condescending.
Adam, to whom are you explaining mansplaining? If you're explaining mansplaining to men, then by your own logic, you're being rather condescending. And if you're explaining it to women, then you are mansplaining.
A recent example of this was Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. 10 years! 10 years on! I'm still doing it every time. Matt Damon.
Who interrupted a woman of color by the name of Effie Brown, who is a black woman filmmaker, to explain diversity to her.
Adam. Mate, a black woman is not more diverse than a white man. Do you understand? A black woman doesn't have more attributes than a white man. Each person is just one thing. You know? It's difficult. I know. It's the same kind of blockage as like, well, when you're talking to a creation. Well, just a simpleton, I guess, and you try to explain that a human is not more evolved than a slug. They can't. It doesn't. Well, of course they are. That's what evolution is. Surely, no. And it just doesn't fucking compute. And this is the same shit. We try and explain that diversity doesn't mean melanin. It doesn't mean get rid of the white people. Try and explain this to a social justice warrior, and their software fucking crashes. But that's what diversity is. Yeah, no, that's what diversity means in your head, because you're a hipster racist. No one told you that's not okay. Well, by now, I should think many people on the internet have told you that's not okay, and each and every one of them was just a racist troll, is that right?
Right. Matt Damon explained diversity and how it works to the only black woman of color.
Really? Black woman of color? Really?
Filmmaker in a room full of white filmmakers.
Okay, so I think... Never mind that. I think I see what you're saying. It's sort of as though it's a nest full of ants explaining diversity to a beetle, right? Except it's not, because we're the same species.
And that's condescending.
No, treating women and black people like children of another species is condescending, you stupid cunt.
See, so Matt Damon wasn't only mansplaining. In this case, he was also white-splaining, which is very similar to mansplaining in that you take the gender in one and replace it for the race in the other.
Yeah, thanks. I was... Fuck me.
White-splaining is when a white person tries to interrupt and lecture a person of color on a topic that specifically affects people of color.
So, as a white man, if I went to one of those African villages where they ritually circumcise women, it would be very condescending for me to talk to them about genital mutilation. And given that here in the West, the vast, overwhelming majority of those operations are performed on white men, if a black woman comes over here and tries to talk to me about genital mutilation, that would be a double charge of black-splaining and woman-splaining, would it? Or do I welcome any voice that cares to add itself to the discussion? Yes, Adam, I welcome any voice that cares to add itself to the discussion. Even if a rich, powerful black woman starts yelling at me that foreskins are ugly and useless and they catch AIDS, I am not going to reject her because of her race or her gender or even her class. I am going to oppose her arguments on their own basis because they are appalling arguments. Because, to remind you, Adam, unlike yourself, I am in favour of free speech and I am not a massive racist.
But anyhow, returning to mansplaining, men with this condition...
Condition? Well, I suppose everything's a condition, but wanting to talk is a condition. But you must know how that sounded, Adam. Have you heard of a condition called drapetomania? It's when slaves get this irrational, unexplainable, and inconsolable fetish for escaping. Google it, I didn't make it up. Someone else did, and they were serious. We have a similar mania afflicting us in the 21st century. It's called misogyny.
Feel that our opinions matter so much that they have to be heard, even if it's on subjects that we don't have a damn clue what we're talking about.
That is not a male condition, you subterranean dickhead! That is called being obnoxious. Why do you think you can pull this fucking trick? You take the completely genderless concept of obnoxiousness, you magically pretend women never do it, and then you act like you're describing this brand new discovery. It's like you're taking a jug full of wine and water, and then just pretending the wine isn't there, and then going, my God, where did all this wine come from? It's like claiming that only women fart. I mean, imagine me doing a video called What is Girl Gassing? Girl gassing is a condition in which a woman releases methane from her anus. They think they have the right to condescendingly do this in the presence of men, because they feel their bowels matter so much that they have to be smelled by everyone in the room. I mean, you think I was a bit fucking loopy, wouldn't you? Because men fart too, don't they? Everyone is noxious from time to time. Everyone needs to fart once in a while to survive. Well, guess what, Adam? Everyone is also obnoxious from time to time. And nonetheless, everyone still gets to use words to fucking defend themselves. I mean, once in their fucking life.
Or on life experiences that we as guys could never really experience.
Do you know, I might get a job as a gynecologist. Because like, I'd be down there for an hour or so, and then I'd just look up and go, well, what could I possibly say? I'm a man. Next!
Now I know what you must be thinking.
I don't think you do, Adam. I think if I chained you to a cave wall and drip-fed LSD into your eyeballs for 1,000 years, you would still not understand what goes through my head in the space of a split second. And that's not to say I'm exceptionally smart or creative, Adam. It's to say that you are exceptionally stupid and dull. I'll stop you there. Carry on.
How does someone even develop this condition?
Okay, Adam. I just listened to your next clip, right? To the next thing you say. And it's scary how fucking stupid it is. And genuinely scary. I prefer to drive people with fun rather than fear, but I'm not averse to admitting when I'm scared. And shit like this, Adam, genuinely scares me. Proceed.
Well, odds are if you were born a guy, you probably have traces of this condition in your system, and that's a result of social conditioning.
I mean, there's like a 1 in a million shot that you're talking about epigenetics, but my money's not on it. Let's keyword it, shall we?
If you were born a guy, you have this conditioning, and that's a result of social conditioning. If you were born a guy, that's a result of social conditioning. Born a guy, that's a result of social conditioning. Born a guy, social conditioning.
Being born male is a social condition. And it needs to be stopped. Because it causes erratic fits of mansplaining. You know how some, like, fundamentalist Christian families try to have their sons de-gayed? And they're going, this gay of yours is a social condition. And we're going to socially condition it out of you. And that poor fucking kid has to live with his parents not accepting him. But at least he can fall back on the knowledge that this comes from ignorance. It simply hasn't occurred to them that he was born this way. He can at least dream that maybe one day they'll understand. But Adam, Jesus fucking shitballs, I hope to my jack of hearts that you don't have a son who's capable of listening to what you're saying here, because you're saying this masculinity of yours needs to be socially conditioned out of you. Oh, and we realise you were born that way. We fully acknowledge that this is genetically determined and nothing can ever change it. But we're still going to try and socially condition it out of you through whatever means necessary for as long as it takes. We're going to socially condition you out of yourself. And don't go killing yourself like the last one. Selfish little bastard.
Social conditioning is a process of training people in society to respond in a manner that is generally approved by the society at large.
That is exactly what you're doing right now, you terrifying fucking worm! You are socially conditioning men and boys, teaching them the correct etiquette for talking to their betters. You want to go back to the goddamn Victorian times, don't you? If a man even talks to a woman without her permission, he is charged with harassment.
Think about a toddler that is crying and eventually gets what he or she wants. If this behavior is always rewarded, well, now the toddler knows and is conditioned to cry whenever he or she wants something.
Yes, and most parents are more attentive to their daughter's cries than to their son's cries. Boys are told to suck it up. I mean, even as babies, a very early infancy, boys cry slightly more than girls. But after a while, the average moves overwhelmingly in girls' favour, because boys quickly realise that their cries will not garner as much attention as girls.
Those same rules apply to society at large. We as humans are rewarded or punished depending on our behavior.
Yes, it's true for 3-year-old children, it's true for 30-year-old adults. When a female cries, we do everything we can to stop and prevent whatever outside source is making her cry. We will turn the world upside down to dry a woman's tears. When a male cries, we would simply rather he didn't cry. We would rather be in a different place from him until he stops crying and sucks it up. Men are usually punished for crying. Women are usually rewarded for crying. No one who has ever lived over a rock can possibly deny this, Adam.
So basically, men are the toddlers in this situation. And unfortunately, based on historical context, men are more often rewarded in society and encouraged to continue our behavior of taking up space, interrupting, and explaining things to women.
All I want to do is head desk. But I'm actually worried that I'll go too far and do some damage this time. It's like, I sort of feel bad for getting so angry at Skeptic and Shoe when I never get that angry at these people. But it's because it's a completely different emotional reaction. When it's people I like, who I thought were paying attention, that sort of stings in a particular place, and that specifically is anger. But this bullshit, see, with these just fucked out, lobotomized people, I don't actually get angry at them because I don't actually care what they think at all. But obviously there is some kind of emotional fire building up there, but it's not anger. It's rage. Anger is something social animals have. It regulates fairness. There's a monkey experiment you can do. Give one monkey a piece of biscuit and the other monkey a grape, and the monkey with the biscuit goes apeshit, as it were. Monkeys understand fairness, right? And they get angry to make things fair. Tigers don't get angry, because tigers answer to no one. But tigers get rage. They see a shape in the wilderness and something clicks in their brain saying, this thing cannot exist. This is all speculation, of course. For the sake of poetic license, I don't know what goes on in a tiger's head. Though I've got a pretty good idea of what goes on in apes' heads. And they have rage too. So to complete the analogy, that's what I'm getting here. This isn't monkey rage, this is tiger rage. I don't even care who this guy is, but the very idea that these ideas can be expressed in this order and be presented and polished like this, regardless of who's expressing it, the fact that this fucking holocaust of an excuse for a rational argument can even exist makes me fucking rage. And I would quite like to pounce on this argument and eat it, but I can't. And that's what the head desking is about. It's not an anger thing, it's a rage thing. You have to do something dangerous and irrational just to get those fucking knots out of your brain. So, Adam, you must understand by now that what you just said is the blatant, undeniable opposite of reality. And saying pandemically wrong things like this, Adam, can only possibly make things worse. Well, it wasn't so bad. Oh yeah, I've sort of got the rage out of my system by explaining what rage is. That's how it works sometimes. I don't fucking know.
Writer Soraya Chimali has a simple explanation for this.
Again, I read the quote just now. I watched the clip you're about to do. And, Adam, it's 20 words long, and only one of those words does anything at all to illustrate what she thinks is the problem. The other 19 of those words are desolately meaningless zits of postmodern jargon that are only put there to hide, disguise, and bury that one word. I wonder if you all could guess the word.
She said, and I quote, "This is good old-fashioned sexism expressed in genderized socialization and a default cultural preference for institutionalized male domination of public life."
In case anyone's still struggling, the word is male. Adam gave you a clue earlier, remember?
If you were born a guy, you have this condition, which is why guys feel entitled to take over a conversation and start talking about a subject that we have no damn clue what we're talking about.
You have explained nothing. You have clarified nothing. You have elaborated nothing. Nothing other than the assertion that men are less important than women because men are born wrong. You are a disgusting fuck up, Adam.
Or on topics that we as men could never even experience.
Again, Adam, if if your doctor is a woman and she tells you that wart on the tip of your cock has become malignantly cancerous, are you going to go, how the fuck would you know, bitch? Where's your cock wart? Or are you going to consider the possibility that a woman can understand something without being a man? Has that sunk in, Adam? That little factical there. Well, what am I about to hit you with, Adam? And is there any chance of it hitting any safe landing pad in your mind? Have you graced a passing thought with a moment's notice that it is at all conceivable that a man can understand something without being a woman? I mean, I'm asking this rhetorically to the audience, Adam. I'm fairly sure you're helplessly brainwashed. Healthy people do not allow this kind of Boschian Halloween mural of stupidity to represent their opinions. You are very probably gone forever, sir. But I'm hoping I can mansplain a few men and boys out there that they do not have to listen to this kind of brain snot. I cannot fucking believe you get away with this. I cannot believe over 300 people liked your fucking video. But they do. And they will. For some men it is enough. Some men will just hear this woodpile of meaningless words and go, yeah, that makes sense. I should only speak when spoken to. Because unlike women, I will never have to deal with only being speaking when I'm spoken. There are men who will happily join you in Upside Down Land, Adam, and just go, yeah, it's tragic and wrong. The way we always look after crying men and we never look after crying women. Something needs to change. Let's really make extra sure we ignore the men and pamper the women. It's sure to move things forward. Because people would rather live in an upside-down black and white world than in the infinite grey ramp of reality. I, for one, find it sad.
So now I know what you must be thinking.
Do you? Do you, Adam? Go on then. What must I be thinking?
Okay, but is there a cure to this condition?
No, Adam. I was not thinking, what is the cure for masculinity? I'm very sorry for doing it wrong. Must have skipped a page or something.
The good news is, if you're still watching this video, you now know what mansplaining is.
Yeah, it's an Orwellian term designed to weave quasi-intellectual excuses for treating men like second-class citizens. You didn't explain that, though, Adam. I did. You merely demonstrated it.
And once you know something, you can't unknow it. It's just the way the brain works.
Whoa. Adam, you have very successfully unknown a great many things, including self-respect, self-determination, any sense of logic, any sense of morality, any sense whatsoever of equality. In fact, you seem to have unlearned everything except men suck and white people suck. Because, like I said, you like it black and white. And you will turn the world upside down if it means you don't have to use up the space for a grayscale image.
Basically, as guys, we have to dig deep and really think to ourselves, do we know what we're talking about? Because if we don't, shut up. Simple as that.
What? Yeah, unless, of course, what you're doing is telling men to devalue their own lives and their own opinions because raisins. Then you can speak all the apocalyptic pigeon shit you like and you don't have to have the slightest ball scratch of an idea what you're talking about.
I've been prescribed a medication known as Check Yourself. I take my daily dose and I suggest you do the same.
I think someone might have switched to some crazy pills, bro.
Just to let you know, side effects may include salty feelings towards women, but you'll get over it. You'll live.
Yeah, or you could treat women as your equals, and then you won't feel so salty towards them. In fact, if you truly treat a woman like an equal, and you challenge her when you think she's wrong, then she will want your salty feelings. Just like I want yours.